Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is David, and today we have a tag for Tag Tuesday, and it is a wonderful tag. It is created by my friend Gareth over at Book Songs and Other Magic, and it is the song tag. It's exciting. I'm sat through and I actually pre-planned answers, in part because I noticed a couple of people who had done the tag today shared playlists to go with their tag. And of course, I was instantly drawn to the idea of doing that, which meant I had to consider ahead of time what I was going to have so that I would have a playlist to link into the description below. So you will find that there's going to be 20 videos linked in this playlist. And I could easily have done a lot more. But anyway, we've got 7 questions here. So let's just dive right in. This is the song tag. Name a song that always makes you happy. So this one's going to come with a little bit of discussion as some preface here. My daughter, her name is Elowen, and she has a genetic condition. It's PIGT-CDG. And it's a very, very rare thing. There's under 30, I think, people worldwide that have it. And it happens, it causes different things in everybody. So it's one of those where we still don't even know exactly what her life is going to look like. But she's about 4.5. She's about the length of maybe an 18-month to 2-year-old. So she has growth development issues. She has hearing aids because she has severe hearing loss. She has to be on oxygen pretty frequently because she's got lung issues. She's had urinary tract and kidney issues, and along with all of these, she also has developmental delays, and low muscle tone. So she's not able to get around on her own, and she's essentially, like having a 6-month-old always around the house. And in spite of all of these things, she is one of the lights of our house. She is almost always happy. A 6-month-old is usually pretty happy. She is almost always happy. Fits that perspective to a T. And her favorite thing in the world is music. So this song tag is perfect. I already enjoyed music prior to her and discovering how much she enjoys music, but it has taken things to a whole new level. And it didn't take long for me to discover her favorite kind of music. She likes just about any kind of music, but her absolute favorite is barbershop music. So 4-part harmony, just voices singing together in harmony. Lights her up. It's been proven without me even being there that, she's gone to school and stuff and had specialists work with her and a little button that she'll press to play barbershop music, and she just lights up every time it goes. And so her absolute favorite song is the Notre Dame medley done by the Ringmasters, who are a barbershop quartet. They were previous champions, and they have a performance that is just phenomenal, out of this world, on this Notre Dame medley. So it sings 2 songs from the Hunchback of Notre Dame movie from Disney, and it's fantastic. And I enjoyed it prior to that, but her absolute sheer joy with it. She almost always just lights up very, very quickly into the song. And usually about at the halfway point, because the second half is by far her favorite part. So usually there's a little pause between the 2 halves. And so when it hits that pause and when it starts up again, she knows that she's into her favorite part. And it just, it's an absolute joy. I love it. I love singing with her. I'm not good at singing, I don't think. I would never claim to be. But with her, I will sing every single day. She doesn't care whether I'm good or bad. And the smile that's on her face just always melts my heart. And it is so precious. So there we go. That's the answer to question 1. So a song that always makes you happy, the Notre Dame medley done by the Ringmasters, because of my wonderful daughter. I enjoyed it prior to that, but it will always bring me joy. There may come a point in time when that joy turns to sadness. But I don't want to think about that because I'm hoping that is a long, long way off. We don't know her life expectancy. It was a surprise to everyone that she made it even as far as she has. So, question 2. Name a song that's a great fit for when you're in a pensive mood. So I had to do a lot of thinking on this. My initial gut reaction is going to actually appear with a band that I'm naming on a later question. So I jettisoned the knee-jerk, okay, this would be a fun one to put there, kind of answer. And instead, I'm going with one that just is a good reminder that there are bigger things, that I've dealt with issues, that things have come and gone, and they don't control me anymore. I control my own thoughts, my actions, my way that I handle things. And that is Dear X, You Don't Own Me by Disciple. If you've never heard it, I've got a wonderful acoustic version of it. That was on their Best of album. And so that is what is linked into the playlist. And it is just, I think it's wonderful. And I hope you enjoy it too, if you give it a listen. Question 3. Name a song that changed your taste in music. So, before my daughter was born, this is kind of how the barbershop got started. I have had a coworker, he's since retired, that would sing in barbershop quartets, and I knew that about him. I didn't know much about it. There was a point in time where I was kind of somewhat training alongside on some of the things that he was doing. And so we got to know each other quite a bit. And so he had me listen to a song to kind of show what barbershop could be. I hadn't really listened to any of it at all. And that song is Great Day by the Gashouse Gang. It is towards the end. It was my first introduction to, at the end of the song, they build up for this big, usually long note where they're all hitting it together. And if it's done well, you can hear not just the 4 voices, but it sounds like there's more voices overlapping with it. And that's the mark of truly well done barbershop. And so him pointing out to me that sound, which you can hear very clearly at the end of this one, got me interested. And so I started listening to more. And that led me down that rabbit hole of music. And over the years, before he retired, we did a lot of barbershop stuff. We found Patty Gurdy, Medieval Babes, Fawn, Oriel, Erutan. All kinds of wonderful music. He helped not just shape, but further delve into the more eclectic side of my musical taste. I have a very, very wide range of music that I really enjoy. I can throw on almost anything. And so I listen to Gregorian chant because of him too. We just marked all across the board down different paths. But the one that really stands out, the one that was that point, that turning point, was Great Day by Gashouse Gang, because of that, hearing that sound at the end. And it just, I've enjoyed it since. And that love for it has only increased even more, tenfold, since my daughter and finding out how much she loves it. So number 4, name a recent song. I'm not going to do just one. That you've discovered and loved. So I'm interpreting this the way most people are interpreting it. I don't listen to much that is currently being developed and played. So I'm interpreting it more as new to me. And so I've got 3 here. 2 of them are from the same band. And it's been an absolute delight to start delving into their musical collection. And that band is Bemis. And so the first song is Jigsaw Song, which I've mentioned in a previous video. And it is catchy as can be. It is a fantastic song. It just has wonderful harmony. It's got wonderful performances. I've run across live versions of it. A couple different ways that they've dealt with it over the year, but I'm going to have in the playlist. It's off their second album, which was the first appearance of Jigsaw Song, and it is fantastic. Give it a listen because it is great. And the other song by Bemis that has really, really captured my heart is a song called Thinking Aloud, which is all about basically a father's love for his children. And when he's thinking about you, he thinks out loud, and just expressing that joy with a nice acoustic and some wonderful harmonies in there. And it has gone permanently into my rotation of songs I mix through to sing with my daughter. I've got a playlist of music. I just hit shuffle most of the time. Sometimes I pick the first 1 or 2 that we're going to do, and then I shuffle from there. Sometimes I just pick what I want the whole time, but this one's in there, and it will stay there permanently because I can't get enough of listening to or singing that song. And then the last one, of course, I have to have a barbershop one thrown in here. It is a kind of newer to me barbershop quartet known as Clutch. And the song that they are doing is called The Mad Hatter. And it is a lot of performances come from songs that were adapted off of musicals of some sort. So apparently there's a Wonderland musical that this came from. And it is catchy as hell. I can't get it out of my head. It is my current earworm. 100%. This song is just, it's got me for the last week. And I'm working my way up onto knowing it well enough to really be able to sing it with my daughter. I'm getting closer. I'm still singing it with her, but I'm screwing up a lot of the lyrics along the way. But I'm going to get there. So The Mad Hatter. I enjoy it tremendously. It's a good song. So all 3 of those are in the playlist. So next we have question 5. Name 3 bands or artists that you love. And this could have been a really, really tough one, but I chose to approach it more along the biggest buckets of musical taste that I delve into. Unfortunately, I have more than 3 buckets. I have more than 4 buckets. I stopped myself at 4. So I didn't get into some of the more eclectic, the medieval inspired, the folk, the chant, any of those. I stopped before any of that. So the 4 categories I have, and these are the 4 primary groups of music that I do listen to most of the time. Christian music, kind of a classic rock type music, 90s alternative music, and barbershop. I had to include barbershop on here, but I couldn't pick what else would drop off to cut it down to 3. So I'm doing 4. Sorry, Gareth. But for each of these 3 on the playlist, I have 3 different songs in there. So you're going to have, hopefully, a treat to listen to with all of these. So the Christian band that is here was a no-brainer for me. The first 2 were absolute no-brainers. It's Crowder, formerly the David Crowder Band. And I've been a fan of his music, his style, for probably close to 7 or 8 years now. I've seen him 3 or 4 times in concert, including my most memorable concert that I've ever been to, where it was just a small little stage, a tiny venue, And during the set, he actually ordered Jimmy John's to be delivered to him up on stage. And that will just always stick out in my mind. It was a fun experience. I love catching him when he's in the area, and I hope to catch him again soon. And so I've got 3 songs of his in there, and he's got kind of a southern, kind of almost country sound to it. And just absolutely enjoy it. He has quite the band that backs him up with all kinds of, different stringed instruments and what have you, and just does a fantastic job with his stuff. So the second one, the kind of the classic rock, this is the bucket where I'm putting David Bowie. This was the other no-brainer. The Sound and Vision project is underway. It is going fantastic. I'm enjoying my time with it with Jack from Spread Book Joy, MJ from Reading This Life, Vin from Revenant Reads, Gareth from Book Songs and Other Magic. We're listening to all of Bowie's back catalog of albums, 1 album every 2 weeks. We're currently listening to Aladdin Sane, and I'm absolutely enjoying it. Unfortunately, I was tinkering with settings in Voxer the other day, and I think I lost everything in it. So I need to reach back out to somebody. I've got Voxer back up and running, but I think I need to reach out to Vin or Gareth or somebody and see if they can put me back in that group. Because I need to get back in on that conversation. But David Bowie, absolutely. I've enjoyed his music since the 90s when I first got introduced to him. And his music, it's just been a couple years. I've only done karaoke twice. My first time doing karaoke, I did a David Bowie song. And had an absolute blast. Both times it was at a work Christmas party. And I did Let's Dance. And, I was the closer to the thing. And it went well. So, alternative. The band I picked here, and this was a lot harder. I had to rule out some of the others, Weezer or Pearl Jam, No Doubt. All of those were in consideration, but I ultimately landed on Garbage here. And in spite of their name, so their name indicates garbage, but their music is anything but. It's fantastic. It is very outside of the boundaries of any one thing that you can really pigeonhole them into on their sound, and it's fantastic. And the song I was going to put in on that number 2 was one of the, if you know any songs by them, you probably know I'm Only Happy When It Rains. And so I was going to put that as the number 2 of this is the great fit when I'm in a pensive mood. It goes there. And then last but not least, a barbershop quartet. And this is one that has been a recent discovery for me the last couple months. Every year they have an international barbershop convention where they have a contest. And so every year they crown a new champion quartet. So once they've won, they're out of contention. They can't compete anymore for it. And one of the competitors in there that did not win this year, they ended up getting second. But I have enjoyed their stuff tremendously. And they first caught my attention because they do a barbershop rendition of the Spider-Man theme. And so that caught me. And from there, I've just really been enjoying listening to the stuff that they've done. So I've got 3 from them in there, including that Spider-Man theme. If nothing else, if no other barbershop that you listen to, that one is worth a listen. All right, so we're almost to the end here. We're going to try to wrap this up soon. Number 6, what instrument would you like to be able to play? And so, the common idea would be things like guitar or piano. There was a stretch of time, about 6 years ago when my son was young, that answer probably would have been violin, because we were listening to a lot of Taylor Davis and Lindsey Sterling. And I love the sound of the violin. But I think I have an answer that is probably not the true answer, and then the answer that's probably a better fit for me. So the first of those is the hurdy-gurdy. It's a medieval instrument. If you've never heard of a hurdy-gurdy, you are in for a treat. That is the second to last song on the playlist. It's by a song by Patty Gurdy, and it really showcases the sound and the look of the hurdy-gurdy being played. And then the real answer, the one that probably would be something that I'd be capable of actually learning and playing, would be the stylophone, which was made popular by none other than David Bowie. Space Oddity, he played the stylophone on that. And so I've got a video of a live performance where he actually pulls out the stylophone in the last, I think, minute and a half, 2 minutes of the song and plays it for the crowd there. And so it's really, really interesting. Yeah, the stylophone, I think that's probably more of my speed, more of my price range, and probably something that I could actually learn to play eventually without needing to be super involved in and proficient with it. So the last question before tagging people: name a fiction book with music at the center of the narrative. And so this is going to be Spider Kiss by Harlan Ellison. This is one. I forgot to grab it. Let's see. Can I see it quickly? Yes. All right. So that cover right there tells you everything you need to know right there. The music is definitely at the forefront of this. I read this last year. Absolutely loved it. It says, simply put, this is the best, the meanest rock novel ever written. That is why it's the only one enshrined in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But it bites back. So Spider Kiss. Definitely recommend it. It was good. Not my type of book normally. Absolutely enjoyed it. So I'm assuming question 8 here would be tag your friends, tag some people. It's making its rounds. I honestly don't know who really to tag here. I think I'm going to... I know Steve Donahue's been tagged. I can't remember if Vin from Revenant Reads has been tagged, so I'm going to tag you, Vin. I don't remember if... I'm going to tag Tony from An Erudite Adventure, my Lord of the Rings partner in crime, because I know he's got good musical taste. And I'm going to tag Bill Rutenberg from the Rutenberg Library. Bill, I'm pretty sure you haven't been tagged, at least not that I've seen. So I'd love to hear your answers on this. So there you go. You three have been tagged. I want to hear what your answers are to this fun little tag if you'd like to do it. And thank you for listening. I'll have a playlist down below. 20 songs. And I easily could have probably done 100, 200, 300 songs in a playlist. So if there's people that want a kind of more of a deep cuts playlist from a very eclectic music lover, I have no musical talent myself, but I love music. I'm always listening to music. Let me know. I'd be happy to throw something extensive in there. Just know that it's not going to be a short playlist if I do. Anyway, have a great day. I will catch you later.